How you all doing? Hey, another great week, another toolbox talk and whatnot. We're here at AGC getting ready. We've got IMSA training on Thursday, I guess.
Yep.
And then I think there's some training on Tuesday and Wednesday for traffic tech or something.
Yeah, I got a safety day.
Go to the website and you can see our calendar for safety training, but you had a pretty exciting weekend, I understand.
Yeah, the inaugural ball. For the
Big
governor.
inaugural. You were like the incident command guy.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big deal.
Yeah. You
Had a
had a
badge.
badge and everything?
Badge, yeah.
Were you able to pack?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. But you coordinated the TAC team, the SWAT team.
Oh, yeah.
All those guys
Yeah.
and the security perimeter around the auditorium. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's where they did it in Barrie.
Yeah, no, I definitely had a lot of input on what they did.
Okay. How far is Williamstown from Barrie?
11 minutes.
11 minutes. You had some other big events over the weekend.
Yeah, I went skiing.
Yeah, went skiing.
Yeah.
And
I had a house fire.
a house fire. You had a house fire.
Yeah.
This would be a good opportunity to talk about house fires and
That's great.
protecting our
It's
folks.
exactly what I want to talk about after going through a weekend of talking about it.
Protecting our folks at in the house.
Yeah.
And our families and protecting folks out on job sites.
Yep.
What happened? Well, like what time did you feel? No, what happened?
It was a chimney fire
Yeah.
that spread to the attic.
Okay.
So we started smelling burning wires at like 10.
Okay.
And then I said, I don't really smell anything, I'm going to bed. And then I went to bed, and my roommates were watching the football game,
What game?
the Notre Dame game.
Oh, that was a good game too.
We didn't get to finish it.
Yeah. Well, they won, you know.
Yeah,
Notre Dame won.
I did see that, yeah.
Overtime. It's like the third or fourth overtime game this bowl season. This has been the best bowl season going.
If we didn't lose power, we probably would have been able to watch the rest of it.
Overtime. Kicked a field goal.
I'm glad that you had,
I saw it.
yeah.
It was
I'm glad
really good.
you
That
were
second
able to-
half was great.
I'm glad you were able to sleep comfortably
Yeah.
in your house.
Yeah. So you had a house fire.
So we started smelling some weird shit at like 10.
Okay.
And then I went to bed.
Okay.
And then, say 15 minutes later, my roommate woke me up and said, get the
So you fall asleep inside of 15 minutes?
15, 20, yeah, I'm tired. I worked pretty hard.
Okay.
And then my roommate woke me up and said, get the hell out of the house. It's on fire.
Okay.
And then I went and got out. But basically, it
But
was,
do you have fire extinguishers?
We
I
have-
mean, aren't these things somewhat important, not only on job sites, but within houses? Particularly if you have wood-fired furnaces or wood-fired fireplaces
we
or
run
stoves?
we run two wood stoves full time. We have a fire extinguisher at each wood stove, and then we have one in the basement by the burner, or the furnace.
3 fire extinguishers
For the house, yeah.
by the,
No, one on each stove
yeah,
and one downstairs.
okay. And you smelled something.
So we smelled
Or
something.
somebody smelled something.
We all smelt it, and then we just figured it was the heat kicking on because it wasn't a totally weird smell. Like sometimes the house is from like 1860, so sometimes you just get weird smells when it gets hot.
Okay.
And then we woke up and said, "There's a chimney fire. We gotta go."
Now, what'd you do?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, we started.
I mean, how long is this good for? I've never been in a fire, so I've
Yeah,
never
I'm
really
gonna
used
tell you right
one of
now,
these.
my adrenaline was pumping so much I don't even remember how long it lasted or what I did.
And you don't even remember what you did?
I was looking at a lot of flames.
Were you?
Yeah.
And you just blew up. You weren't even sure if you were looking at the fire when you blew that
Nah,
up.
it's like when you go deer hunting. Like, you don't really even know what's happening. You're just kind of shooting at shit and hope that it goes down.
That's when you go deer
That's when
hunting.
I go deer hunting, yeah.
Okay.
No, so we started with water because basically the chimney got so hot, it lit everything around it on fire up in the attic. Like, if you looked at our floor, there's just a charcoal ring that burnt out from away from the chimney. It
So
just started, it lit
so
the
that
floor on fire.
Chimney itself was not probably clear of materials or
No,
things.
I mean, the house is old and so the attic is sealed. So
Yeah.
you can't even get up there. So it's just a shit show of whatever has been up there for 100 years. And then, so it lit that on fire. And then when it started dropping like molten styrofoam down from the edges of the chimney, we were like, okay, we got a pretty big problem. So we took our fire poker and we started pulling the ceiling out from upstairs. And then we would hand off 5-gallon buckets and just chuck them up into the ceiling, water.
Yeah.
And then I went and got,
You
another-
stayed pretty dry during that? Did
no,
you have
we
an
were
umbrella or
no,
something?
I had a
that-
Vermont frame sweatshirt on.
Okay.
And that is basically ruined now because like it's covered in shit. And then, so we were throwing.
So are you asking Kevin?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Are you asking Kevin?
No, I'm
in
just
the
saying,
middle
I
of
just
this
got it, and now it's ruined.
In the middle of this unfortunate incident,
Yeah.
are you now asking Kevin for a new
No, I'm
sweatshirt?
not. I'm just
Okay.
saying, yes, we got disgusting. We were throwing water up into the ceiling and it was dumping all over us. And then it dumped all the way. It ruined our drywalls.
What about this?
Screwed. Huh?
What about this?
We
Why
used,
didn't you use
We
that?
used 3 of them, but they don't do what you think they do. Because when the way the fire was, there really was no base. Because
Okay.
it was on the eaves.
Yeah.
So we were just shooting at it, but it wasn't, the water was working better.
Okay.
Because the water would at least, I don't know. But anyway, so then we pulled the ceiling down.
So where you living now?
My room was not affected. So
Oh, you saved so were you out in the hallway? I mean,
No.
you always use these fire extinguishers, point of training, fire extinguisher is used to escape a fire.
Right.
And you're supposed to have your back to the door and you're supposed to be remembering to get out. Were you standing in front of your room, putting up a line of demarcation? Did you have little
No.
water buckets and friggin' fire extinguishers right there in front of your room?
no, I was filling up 5-gallon buckets in the sink and running them upstairs so we
Okay.
could throw it into the
How'd you save your room?
It just was on the opposite side of the house. And it's
Okay.
also it's on the first floor.
Okay.
But anyway, so it started smelling weird, and then the smoke started coming in, and then we started hearing it, and then we said, oh shit, this is bad. So we called the fire department, and then we started doing our transport system of water. We ran through 3 fire extinguishers, and then we went outside to see if the flames were still coming out of the chimney. And I don't know, it's hard to remember, but there was a lot of smoke coming from our like vent that comes
Yeah.
out from the front of the house. So then the fires got there with the two or 3 engines, and they ran up with the hose, and they saved our house. Thank
Out
you.
there in Williamstown.
Yeah, big shout out to them. They were there very quick and they saved it. So,
They saved the house.
and they snaked our chimney and they made us feel a lot better because we were able to know that the chimney was not gonna relight.
So pertaining to a residence, it's always good to have your chimneys cleaned.
Once a year, yeah.
And
And
it's
ours was
always,
cleaned and it's still,
always good to have a safe zone around these chimneys where they go
Yeah.
through ceilings
different
or
levels,
whatever.
yeah. I mean, that was going through 2 levels and it hit on the top one, the way it was kind of piped into the attic area.
Okay. And then it's always good to have fire extinguishers available.
Yeah, because I had to run and get the 3rd
You had to run and get the 3rd. Where's the 3rd?
in the barn.
I thought you told me there was one in the kitchen and one at each.
Yeah, we didn't use the one in the basement. I don't know why. We just weren't thinking. I
So
ran
you-
across and got the one out of the barn.
In the cold?
Yeah, I was barefoot
Barefoot?
in my boxers.
In your boxers?
Yeah.
There's an image for you. Friggin' Ben running across the parking lot across Route 14, trying to get a fire extinguisher in his boxers at 11 o'clock at
Oh,
night.
that was 11:30 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, we're good. We had a lot of cleaning to do, as you can imagine, because we ripped the whole ceiling out on the top floor
No.
and dust and debris. But they were able to pull out the 2 or 3 2x10s that were burning. And so those are just on the lawn.
You asking Kevin for 2x10s too?
No, I'm not asking.
Because he's a timber frame.
No, I'm not
He would
asking
probably
him for
have
anything.
2x10s.
No,
Huh?
our house, no.
A sweatshirt and
The house
2x10s,
is saved.
Kevin.
The house is saved. There's no permanent damage. Everything can be fixed, but you gotta do a couple things and do a lot of cleaning and figure out what we're gonna do with the stove. But we're very lucky, and big thank you to the fire department because they did a very good job of responding fast and saving the house.
So at 10 o'clock, when you first smelled this.
All four of us did a walk around and we said, this really isn't a normal smell, but you know, it's not weird to get weird smells in a house this old.
So the state has this thing called see something, say something.
Yeah.
Would you think that it's probably time that we adapt that? That if you smell something, say something?
Which we did do. It just, because it was contained in the attic and there was no smoke, and we weren't outside to see that there was stuff. We knew there was a problem when shit started coming down the chimney.
So you're gonna try to rely on the see something, say something.
No,
and
I'm
I
saying,
think
no, I'm
you've
saying.
screwed up at the smell
I'm agreeing
something,
with
say
you.
something.
I'm agreeing with you. Because when it started smelling, we probably should have done a deeper dive as to what's going on. Where is it smelling from? Because we were in the kitchen, and I just.
Now, as head of the incident command
Oh,
group
God.
at the inaugural.
Oh, God.
Did you have an incident plan, an emergency action plan for this group?
Yeah, it was bring water upstairs as fast as you possibly
That's
can.
kind of late if did you practice any of that before?
Well, yeah.
So this would be important from a residential standpoint for being home with our families and whatnot.
But the thing is, I've lived in this house for over a year now, so I'm very comfortable with the layout of the house. I'm very comfortable with how I can move through it and my exits. If you would put me in someone else's house or maybe a job site that I'm
So when you come visit me, if you stay overnight, we got to do
They
an
will
emergency.
never-
We've got to do an emergency practice.
No, but I mean, think about that in a job site. If I'm coming on to do something on your job site, and I've never been there, and I'm from Mass, and you're in Vermont, don't you think you should give me a little bit of a heads up of, hey, this is how the job site flows, this is where this leads to, here are your exits, and here are your fire extinguishers.
I think that's very important on a job site.
Yeah.
I think it's just as important in my house with my kids and my wife, saying if we have an incident here, whether it's fire or hurricane, tornado, whatever, we have an evacuation plan. And I think you're right. That's portable or starts over on a job site and is portable to our house.
Just being on the same page, yeah. Luckily, we had just kind of moved. Luckily this year, because we didn't have fire extinguishers last year, so this year we said we're getting 3, and luckily we knew where they were. And I'm familiar with the property, so I knew there was one in the barn, but it just it happened so fast, you're barely thinking about anything.
So you're taking a fire extinguisher, you're shooting it at a fire.
Yeah, we had pulled out all the ceiling around the chimney so that we could see up into the attic, because keep in mind that the ceiling goes across, you cannot see anything above those.
Okay. Again, smell something, say something.
It was the
right?
once the wiring started burning and it smelled awful.
Okay. So smell something, say something,
Yeah.
and have a plan in place.
Yeah, or be on the same page with
And
people that are there.
have you been through this type of training, first aid training?
You mean fire
Extinguisher training?
Yeah, I've told some people about fire extinguishers.
Okay. So your big thing this year, you're gonna
No, God.
coordinate
No.
right throughout the training season, the old smell something, say something,
Yeah.
and how a fire extinguisher works?
Sure.
Are you gonna rebrand that from the state see something, say something
No.
to smell something, say something? I think we'll have stickers made or
No.
something.
I think, no, we cannot market this. This is a traumatic event in my life.
Traumatic. Are you gonna suffer do you need a mental health day?
No, I don't.
Huh?
No. But I could use a raise to help rebuild our space.
How about a day off?
That's pretty good. But no, actually, I don't need to rebuild my space because my room didn't get.
Your room,
Yeah.
you had your little perimeter of water
Yeah.
buckets and a fire extinguisher outside your room and you kept it to the other side of the
Yeah,
house.
we just got to throw some new drywall up in the upstairs, and I guess repaint. And
Is that why you smell like smoke today?
I shouldn't. Do I?
You
What
smell-
kind of smoke? I can smell like I can smell like a lot of different kinds of smoke, depending on the day.
Okay, so, hey, be safe, seriously. do a practice, have a conversation with your family and those people within your house. Have a conversation with those people on a job site. Make sure everybody knows how to react in this sense of an emergency or as an emergency
Now it's-
occurs. Know how to get, I don't know about Williamstown, do they have that, when you call Williamstown, do you have to call a 433 number?
I didn't call, so I have no idea.
I mean, they probably got 911, right?
I'm assuming, yeah, I didn't call. I was shoveling water.
This big shoveling,
Shuttling.
shuttling water. Call 911.
Yes.
And-
that should be like the first thing you do, which
And-
luckily,
Well, it's not the first thing you did, because the first
No,
thing you
it
did
is.
at smell something,
Oh, yeah.
you went to bed.
yeah, I did.
Okay.
I can't really smell it because I got bad nasal stuff, but no. Luckily, we called them before we actually started our efforts to put it out. So we were already, 10 minutes into throwing water up there and shooting off fire extinguishers before they got there. So luckily, we were able to help them a little bit, but thank God they brought the hose up there and they ripped the ceiling out because there was more that we couldn't even see because we
Right.
didn't have access to it.
So, emergency action plan, house or business,
Clean your chimneys if you run wood
practice with your
stoves.
kids and
Yeah.
practice with your family, practice with your employees, and make sure you got things in place.
And yeah, it's nice. Thank God we had the fire extinguishers and there was 4 of us in there because the way this was is that was on the left side of the house. I live on the right. So if it was just me and my other roommate, we wouldn't have been on that side of the house and it would have gotten bad. So
Okay. Well, better luck.
yeah, thank
I hope,
your firefighters because they saved our house.
They
So
saved your house.
That's pretty cool. I appreciate that.
Okay. Anything else you want to add? Busy
No.
week. We got some training here at the office. We got things happening. You're going to establish a whole training program on smell something, say something.
Smell something. I could go for like farts too. Like during training.
I think you just shit in your pants.
hey, I'm trained on smell something, and I think you've got a problem.
We got to respond.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the fire department for that. It might be the ambulance, but
So, Richard,
Ben,
hey, have a good week. And if you want to comment on this, or Kevin, if you're out there and you have an
No,
extra sweatshirt, he ruined his.
no, he
putting
told
his
me that was the
fire-
last one my size too. I didn't ruin it. I think the stains will come out. It's just very gross right now with sealing burnt ash water.
Of course, you're one of those guys that always likes having, a fresh, clean sweatshirt.
No, okay.
Versus me.
You want to
who
bring
likes-
this up? You got a brand new jacket from Casella. You tied it into a ball and you dragged it around with a tractor around the parking lot for 15 minutes.
Well, that's so it would look worn.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I would probably kill for your sweatshirt right now because it looks kind of
No,
worn
yeah.
and broken in. You, on
No.
the other hand, have this nice fancy new thing and you polish it up every day.
All of my clothing is
clean it.
used. That's the best part about my job is that you contractors give me clothes and you think it's just a nice gesture. That's what gets me through the year. I need these clothes. So if you see me picking through your merch room, just turn your head because I'm in need.
So that's like a bonus.
What?
That could be your bonus.
No,
I don't have to worry about
that
bonuses.
doesn't count. That doesn't count. No, that's a perk. The perk is that I get sweet clothing. I'm serious, it's nice. It's nice clothing, all of it is.
Hey guys, have a good week. We look forward to seeing you next week. If there's something you need, something you want, please give us a call here at the office. 802-223-2374. Thank you all.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Huh?
That's
you
funny.
need that?
Yeah.
You want to take that home with
That's
you?
gonna be a good thumbnail.
There you go.